I will be dueling this guy because we are now technically the Duelist, because we now have the Duelist perk, and I will be taking every single challenge in a one-on-one. Let's do this. Hello and welcome back to our Duelist adventures, and now we are going to be attacking 42 looters, and well, obviously the looters are kind of a staple food supply at this point, and I'm not even talking about actual food here, I'm just basically talking about sustaining our army in terms of the amount of income we're getting, and that is in multiple different ways. That is in money, that is in in experience, that is in skill points for myself, and a wide variety of other reasons why we would want to do this. And hopefully I'm going to be able to do something here. Oh, nice. Yep, there we go. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted. Absolutely what we wanted right there. And that is wonderful. A nice little level up. And maybe I can do a little bit extra. A little bit of extra damage here and there. Never hurt anyone, except the opponent, of course. Alright, so there you go. 2.6 renown and 1.8 morale is our reward for that. And we do get an absolutely insane amount of looters, mainly because of our manhunters. Our manhunters are always capable of doing fantastic amounts of knocking unconscious. But we're not going to be taking any of those. We're just going to take the loot, and we're just going to focus on that. Now, anytime we come across a village that requires some manual labor or something like that, then of course we're going to try and offload. Ooh, unfortunate. I was very much hoping that this village would need... they need 17 mules. Actually, I think I might have that. I have 16. You know, I've got to say, I feel like sometimes the game is like, okay, wait a minute, what does this guy actually have? Talking about me in this case. And then they go, oh, you look at that, he has 16 mules? Okay, well, this quest is going to ask for 17. That seems like how it is. Bit weird. Gotta say that. Anyway, I'm going to sell a couple of horses here. I'm going to sell like 15 horses or something like that just to get a little bit extra cash, because of course we have wasted quite a lot of it so far on recruiting a lot of caravans that have been destroyed very, very easily, and that is making things very difficult for us. Ah, there's another band of expeditioners. I think I'm going to be fighting them, and I don't really care about what kind of composition they have, because, well, let's face it, they only have 16 in their army, and obviously the one army that we took care of in the previous episode, that was, well, quite monstrous in size, and, well, this is obviously not that, so we should have a pretty easy time of dealing with them. Unfortunately, as you can no doubt tell, they do have primarily ranged capability, so I'm just going to be telling everyone to charge in here because it makes no sense to hold position against ranged units. These guys really don't actually do even any damage to me, as you can see right there. Look at that. I only took 6 damage to the chest. Can't believe it. Ah, yeah, I was hit by a bandit trainee. Alright. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, if I was hit by a forest bandit, that would be a completely different thing. Because obviously forest bandits, they have 150 in bow weapon proficiency, and as a result they're just going to do so much damage. But it seemed like they really didn't have any of those. They had one, as you can see. They literally had one in that army, and that was it, as far as I can tell. Yeah, so that's perfectly fine in my opinion. That is very, very much understandable about taking such a small amount. But there you go. Alright, so we are going to continue onward. I would like to be able to find a village that has the manual labor task, because I have so many... no more board games, thank you. No more board games. I have so many prisoners that it would make so much more sense for me to do that rather than just sell them to some random tavern, you know, and ransom broker and so on, because the ransom here is 764, Okay, so if we take a look at our actual prisoners right now, we have one sheriff, town marksman, and then a couple of others. We've got a lot of freebooters right here. They're tier 3, you know, they're pretty good. They're not that bad. And it kind of... It's undervaluing them. It's undervaluing them quite a bit for me to sell them for only 760. I feel like if I were to do that quest, I would probably have the ability to get about 1,300, maybe a little bit more than that. Alright, so I'm going to have to hang back a little bit just so that I can see when the caravan gets ambushed. Ah, there we go. Desert bandits, no less. Desert bandits. And who's that over there? Yes, it's one of those. I think it's a desert cultist or something. 179 in that army. I'm kind of surprised, actually, that the Aserai have not decided to take it upon themselves to eliminate this particular vassal, because this vassal from the desert cultists has 100 prisoners. Yeah, 100. And you'd think, well, 100 prisoners? Surely some of them have to be reasonably useful, and I would love to be able to fight them and indeed take all those prisoners and rescue them. That would be an utter fantastical thing to happen. It would just be one of the best things that we could actually have happen in a long time. And, I mean, that's the thing. Prophecy of Pendor has a very similar feel to it that I'm kind of getting the vibe from that in this mod as well. Technically, obviously, I'm not using any mod to change the game world in any way at all, but having those additional clans and everything, especially a clan that is going to take so many prisoners, reminds me of the prisoner trains that the unique spawns in Prophecy of Pendor would accrue over time. Because, of course, if there's a very strong army, eventually that strong army is going to gain huge amounts of prisoners, and, well, if the player character or whoever is able to defeat that particular large army, then they're going to have a great time, and they're going to get a huge number of units to join them. At least as many as you can possibly manage to fit into your army. So, anyway, let's just take a quick look at this particular, not this guy, of course, he's the caravan master, but let's take a look at the composition of this person. Right, so you can see here that they have diminished in strength over the last time that we saw them, but of course they are still running around with a very significant number of units, which would be very problematic for me to attack right now. However, I think I could probably do it. If I had a full army of around tier 4 and above units, I could probably take them on, maybe even achieve victory. It's a big maybe at the moment, and I don't know. For those of you that have more experience in the Calradia War mod, you probably know that maybe it's probably not going to work. I mean, all things considered, it probably won't. Just going to sell the weapons that are worth more than 1,000. Might even want to sell these things as well, because we're going to get 10,000 from that. That is really quite significant. And I'm actually going to be attempting to buy a couple more pieces of food here and there as well. Even if they are overpriced at this point, I don't really mind too much. We're still gaining 7,500 almost, which is pretty cool. Is there a tournament? Yes, there indeed is, and this is perfect timing. You know why that's perfect timing? Because I just leveled up and we now have 100 in one-handed weapon proficiency, and as you know, this is what I'm going to be taking. 20% more damage while wielding a one-handed weapon without a shield. Oh yeah, this is the entire reason why I decided to make a series based around this specific perk. Yeah. Pretty hardcore that I went literally so hard against this you know, with the theme, shall we say, that, yeah, that really just makes a huge difference. Also, this is fantastic. Increases the character's healing rate by 30%. That is already amazing, but increasing our battle movement speed by 3%, that is going to be invaluable, pretty much. Now, the only thing that I'm kind of disappointed by is that what I would love to have happen. Obviously, this is not going to happen, but for me personally, I would love to have the secondary skills of preventative medicine and self-medication merged together in one skill. And I would take that one in a heartbeat, because having the ability for your character to heal 30% of lost hit points after each battle, that is so strong. It really is so strong. But as a duelist, I cannot give up on the 3% battle movement speed, so I'm going to have to take that, even though the character healing rate is in itself a very good skill to have. It's just not as good as the 30% lost hit points, at least in my opinion. Maybe there's a cooldown on it or something like that, I'm not entirely sure, but what I do know is that it is very good. Alright, so I'm thinking maybe we want to go for some leadership here. Maybe we want to go for something else. I actually do not know. I'm thinking maybe leadership, because eventually I would like to get... Is there... Wait a minute. Let me actually just take a quick look here. Are there any other skills that provide me with movement speed in combat? Because I'm thinking that if there is, it might be a good idea for me to try and spec into that. I'm even thinking about speccing into roguery at this point. They might even have some stuff. No, doesn't seem like it. Not that early on at the very least. Maybe some of these? No, this is all to do with auto-resolving. Troops in your formation gain movement speed. It's all about your army. It's all about being a commander. And leadership. Okay, yes. So leadership is probably what I'm going to be taking, because this is, in my opinion, fantastic. Combat tips. Increasing the recruitment level of units of the same culture with you from NPCs. In other words, every tier 1 unit, so every recruit that you would recruit, it's going to be a tier 2 unit rather than a tier 1 unit. So that really makes a huge difference in my opinion. So I'm going to be speccing into leadership a little bit. Maintain high morale in my party. Well, that's the reason why I purchased a whole bunch of extra food, so that's going to be very, very useful for us. And we are going to be entering the tournament. I'm at 94% HP, so it should be okay. But the main reason why I'm doing this, of course, is to try and get the renown. Oh, they gave me thrown weapons and a spear. Well... hopefully someone will die and I'll be able to pick up their... sword. Oh yes, please run into that. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Yes. Oh, absolutely perfect. Okay. Who's this guy? Is that my guy? Was that my guy, or did he just block? I'm actually not sure. Nice. Okay, we took out his horse, I think. Nice. Oh, that was some good damage. I'm surprised I didn't get any polearm skill right there. That's actually kind of interesting. 38 damage. Okay, a little bit more to the horse. That's fine. More to the rider. That's good. Nice. Okay, yeah. Oh, we're actually with my companion here, hilariously enough. Okay, so that's good to know. Oh, combatant crazed man. Oh, you got taken down, sir. You got taken down. That guy also got taken down. Azurai Footman. He didn't know what hit him. He certainly didn't. Oh, this guy is not knowing what he's doing. Oh, I'd love to have a one-handed weapon right now. I really would. Ooh, nice. I can't believe I dealt damage. What? I only have, what, 6 or something in polearms? I mean, well, how am I able to do so much damage here? These guys are... Wait a minute. Did you see that? Was that just me? They were just standing there. They weren't doing anything. They were just looking at each other. It was a staring competition, apparently. Alright. Oh, no, I actually have much more than 5 in polearms. I have 17, actually. Oh, well. Still not very good. But, oh, well. Never mind. Alright, so let's move on. Yes! Okay, they gave me a one-handed. This is great. Okay, so let's see what I can do here. Oh, yes, using the angles. That's what we wanted to do. Let's see if we can try and kill this guy from behind. Not that one. I actually wanted to kill the other one from behind because he is quite a bit better, as you can tell. Trying to keep him on my right side so that I know where he's potentially going to attack. Because if he were to have my body in the center of his viewpoint, he's going to be able to attack from pretty much any direction. However, if I stay to one side, he's going to be somewhat forced to choose a, shall we say, most optimal way of attacking. And the most optimal way was the way that I wanted to force him into attacking, and as a result, we were able to block and indeed try to predict where he was going to attack. Now, unfortunately, there is a vassal in this particular tournament. Tyus is going to show himself to be a very dangerous adversary for us, and no doubt he's going to see that we win this. Oh, the damage right there. The damage against that veteran manhunter. He is so incredibly dead right now. Or he should be. Tyus, could you actually do something, sir? Whoa, that was actually an amazing shot. Did you see that? That was crazy. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I actually thought... I was watching that thrown weapon fly through the air, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, is that going to hit me? It almost did. All right, here we go. Perfect composition of gear. Let's do it. Oh, what? What? How? Okay, well, he was apparently injured. And there you go. 6 renown has pushed us over the threshold for tier 2 of our clan. So we've now leveled that up, and we now have even more troop space, which is so incredibly important at this point, because that means I will then be able to potentially get to a point where we can take on those desert cultists. That is going to be something that I'm going to be aiming towards very, very soon, or at least I hope so, at least. So let's have a look here. I'm going to try and see if they... I need to go, actually, to a village that sells horses. So I'm going to go over here. How long do I have to complete this? Oh, I actually have quite a lot. Oh, he's going to make payment as 164 meat. Is that good? Is that actually good? It might be good. I mean, that actually means that I didn't even need to buy as many, well, technically I didn't need to buy as many of those things. Oh, deliver the herd to Sonala. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this first. This is such an incredibly good task. Azurai horses as well, no less. That's crazy. Yeah, anyway, point is, I really think that maybe it would be an idea to continue buying a number of goods, number of foodstuffs and things, to try and continue increasing our morale. Because as you can see right here, we have food variety that's giving us +7, which is actually quite good. Maybe we want to buy some olives while we're here. And I would like to do another bandit hideout as well. I feel like bandit hideouts are super fun to deal with, especially as a duelist, because you get to take your own weapons into the fight, and then you can see to it that you, well, hopefully don't die. Alright, so, yeah, we've arrived at Kasira, and I'm just going to sell all of the Azurai, well, not all the Azurai horses, but I'm going to sell 5 of them for 5,400. I obviously already purchased a couple of food pieces of various things, like wine and some oil and stuff like that. And oh, why was the quest cancelled? The quest was cancelled for some reason or another. Ah, I see. It was raided. Alright, so with 2 days to go, we can go and speak to Leadfoot Nolden now, and then we can give him that. There we go. Alright, so that is perfectly fine. I have leveled up my leadership a little bit, by the way, just purely from running around with relatively high morale. I would like to be able to do more battles. That would really help us out. But unfortunately, the battles in the area are, well, not exactly great. Not exactly great. Oh, there's a caravan ambush. We might be able to do something there. It seems like these desert slavers don't want to attack the Azurai for some reason. I'm actually not sure why that is, but I suppose what we'll do is we'll do the caravan ambush and we'll see what happens. Hopefully the caravan will, yes, thankfully, go this way rather than the other way. Okay. What is it? Is it literally just desert bandits? Ah, yeah, okay. Phew. I was a little bit worried there for a second. I actually thought it was just going to be the group of 10. That would have been pretty disappointing, to be honest. But hopefully once we've done this, we'll be able to gain even more morale. As far as I'm aware, as long as you have, I think it is 75 or more morale, that is when you continually gain leadership skill. But I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on it. But that's what I've seemingly observed in the past, so hopefully it will be that way again. I dealt 91 damage already. That's pretty good. Not too bad. My forces are just swarming the opponent. I mean, there's not much that I can really do here, unfortunately, because the Desert Bandits are quite... Oh, I thought that was going to be an amazing, amazing slash. Oh, that was a little bit of a better one, I suppose. But yeah, in general, any time where against someone that has a bunch of horses, and indeed cavalry units, it's probably going to be pretty difficult for me to do anything against them. So I'm not looking forward to dealing with the Khuzait, but maybe what I should do is once I have a suitable enough army, obviously I'm not entirely sure when that is going to happen. It's probably going to be one of those times where I probably have to be very certain that I would like to deal damage to them at that point, or like to be the aggressor against them, and then just cross our fingers and hope that we're going to be able to deal with them, because, well, you can quite clearly tell, I think most of these are probably the caravans units, but I do have primarily an infantry-focused army at the moment, with the exception of the manhunters, of course, because I do have manhunters, and they are obviously much better at running around on horses, but yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We did get a mace, which is going to be selling for a pretty decent amount, and there you go. We also gained 1100 for that, which is pretty decent, and we're now going to be heading on over. I would like to be able to take care of this bandit hideout, so I'm hopeful that there may be a task nearby. Nope, not from this guy, but I will be recruiting more and more people. Anytime I can recruit people, I will definitely take the opportunity to do that, and... there we go. Nice. Alright, so competent crazed man. They level up into trained crazed man. They are still looking pretty awful right now. However, once they start going into madmen, competent madmen, trained madman, drilled madman. Wow, that's an absolutely insane beast. And then fearless, and then indomitable. I mean, really, they have so many levels, but it's gonna pay off hugely when I'm you know, maxing them out. But obviously at that point we're probably going to enter a siege or something, and then they're just going to die. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. Alright, so the game is actually recommending that I go in here with Azurai Master Archers. I'm actually not sure whether I should take the Master Archers or whether I should take the Sheriffs. I'm thinking that maybe we'll take a couple of Sheriffs because they are melee, and it might make sense for us to take a couple of melee units, but now I'm thinking that maybe just going full ranged would make more sense. I don't know. Let's see what happens, because the Sheriffs are very good, stat-wise. So, might be cool, I don't know. But look at the combat strength as well, by the way. Look at the combat strength. This is really kind of harsh. Oh yeah, by the way, there was a hotfix in the last day or so that has changed the radial menus for bars, and you can decide what you want in the options menu. There is an option to toggle one or the other. So if you like the radial menus, then you can of course use that, but if you like the bars, then obviously you want to use that. Now, the one thing that I've seen that is a little bit of a shame. Do you see the bars on the left side of the screen right there? Well, these bars are quite a bit see-through, and I'm not entirely sure if I really appreciate that, because it is very difficult to kind of see what's going on with them then, in comparison to the old version of the bars. I don't know whether that's me, or whether that is how it's always been, but as far as I am aware, they did reduce the opacity of the radial menu, and maybe that has carried over to the bar setup. So it really depends on what you prefer. I mean, what do you actually prefer? Do you prefer the radial menu or do you prefer the bar? Because I'm actually not sure at the moment, because the bar right now is kind of giving me a little bit of a weird feeling because it is so far over to the left side and so difficult to see that it is making things a bit tricky. But anyway, I will be dueling this guy because we are now technically the Duelist because we now have the Duelist perk, and I will be taking every single challenge in a one-on-one. Let's do this. Ooh, okay. That was a little bit too close for my liking, but we prevailed. Took a little bit of damage there as well. To be expected, I suppose. Alright, let's just rescue those guys, and I would like to rescue the Harami as well, because even if I cannot level them up, it is going to be a pretty good unit to have, as you can see. They're pretty decent, you know, they've got decent stats. And we'll just take the rest there. There we go. All right. Ooh, look at my charm skill. Wow. Huge amounts of charm skill going up there. All right. So now I'm actually not sure where to go, to be honest. I feel like we've cleared out a lot of bandits. The bandit hideouts are in decline. I'm not seeing a huge amount of them running around now. I mean, like, you know, around the place here and there. And there's an army of poachers. I don't know whether I really want to deal with those poachers. I did a little bit of smithing as well, by the way. Nothing too dramatic, of course, but just enough. Wait a minute. Is that sword actually any good? Yeah, no, not really, not really. I'm gonna sell it. I'll sell the mace as well. There we go. All right. Yeah. Well, that seems good enough. And then we'll just sell the remaining armor too. There we go. And there's not much more that I really want. I'm going to buy some desert horses though, because we are tending to grow our army quite a bit now, and it would make sense for me to have horses that will accommodate all of those people. So, you know, especially considering most of them are going to be infantry, at least initially. It's probably going to be useful, especially if we are also going to be leveling them up into cavalry units. Because, of course, eventually they will end up being cavalry in some way or another. I'd like to get some more master archers, of course, at first. But later down the line, I'd like to maybe make it a little bit different. All right, so, look at this. This might actually be rather useful. Increase crafting stamina recovery rate by 50% and increase your prisoner size limit. Well, increasing the prisoner size limit by 5 and decreasing prisoner escape chance by 10%, I think that this is a completely useless skill. No offense. I don't think that that's very good. I think the crafting stamina, that on the other hand, ooh yeah, give me that, you know, because increasing the recovery rate by 50% is really nice. And then the other option we have is slightly increase your persuasion chance and increase your party size by 5. Right, again, secondary skill, absolutely useless. Increasing your party size by 5 really doesn't make any difference whatsoever, in my opinion. You are rarely ever going to be really wanting to have additional party size, because you can just level up your clan, and then eventually you're going to have so much renown in the end game that you will be running around with, I don't know, 200, 250, 300 units, and increasing your party size by 5 is not really going to do anything in that case. However, slightly increasing your persuasion chance, I don't know by how much that is. If it gave me a percentage and said that, you know, every persuasion option was going to be, I don't know, 15% better, then I might decide to go for it. But in this case, because I would like to have my stamina recovery be a little bit quicker, I will be taking that. That seems to just make all the sense in the world in comparison to the other options. And I can't do anything else here. Okay, so yeah, we do need to continue speaking to villages. Oh, what's going on here? What? Something of the Beartild declares war on the southern slavers. Okay, I'm actually not sure who did that, because I didn't declare war on them, and as far as I'm aware, my caravans are, well, possibly going to be attacked, but I don't think that they can actually declare war. Okay, that might just be a little bit of a bug or something along those lines. Might not be anything to really take note of here, but let's have a look. Ah, perfect. All right, let's speak to this guy. He needs manual labor. All right, 17. Easy. I have more than enough for that. There we go. All right, let's get rid of all these guys if we can. No, we can't, unfortunately. Yeah, so as you can no doubt tell, as we found out in a previous episode as well, the custom units that are added by the Cal Radio at War Mod, they cannot be given to this particular guy for the manual labor quest. So I'll just have to give him 20. Look at that! That's exactly what I was talking about. 7,600. And the tavern wanted to give me 700. Yeah. That's pretty crazy, right? That is pretty crazy. Okay, so what do you actually need? 13 healthy and strong cows. This might be a bit difficult. I don't think cows are that prevalent in Aserai territory, so it might be somewhat difficult for me to get them. Alright, so I found out so far, after a small perusing of the nearby area, that Rote has a village nearby to it that produces cows. And I can only hope that maybe because of that, the cow prices over there will be somewhat diminished, and they won't be too difficult for us to afford. Now, what I would like to do is, yes, another tournament. Fantastic, let's head in there. Let's head in there and see what's up. Oh dear, Krotor is actually here. And we also have a Karakuzate Rider, which is maybe going to be somewhat problematic. There's also an Elder there as well, which is somewhat tricky. But, I have a polearm. Well, this is not going to work. Oh, nice. A little bit of glancing damage right there. Take out the Righteous Citizen, thank you very much. Take out this guy as well. Oh, Krotor in the head. We took him out. Wow, he was not expecting that at all. Wow, I'm kind of surprised that I'm actually even doing as well as I am right now, to be honest. Oh, never mind. Okay. Spoke too soon. Do you have a sword? Yeah, okay. Javelin. Oh, this is not going to work out. No. No, that is not going to work out. Not at all. See, now, that's the thing. You cannot get your horse killed. If you get your horse killed, then that is just done and dusted. I'm actually kind of surprised that I did not get through, because Krotor got through and I eliminated him. But I suppose it was because his team actually won the overall action. So I suppose that's the reason. Kind of kind of sad. It's really quite sad that you can't take in your own gear. Because if I could take in my own gear, or at least if I could decide on what I wanted to use, because I feel like, in general, it makes a whole bunch of logical sense for a tournament to sort of give you the option, or give the combatants the option of choosing their, appropriate weapon, whatever they want to use. Maybe that's just me, but maybe that would be kind of cool. Maybe a mod will add that at some point or something, or maybe the developers will decide to add it, who knows. But otherwise, as you can see, we have a cow village. Yes, let us go and speak. Okay, never mind. Apparently, deliver the herd. Are you going to ask me to deliver some cows? Yes, indeed you are. 18 cows. Okay, this is going to be kind of interesting. So let's have a look-see here. Right. You need 13 and there's 18. So technically what I could do is I could sell 9 of them, I suppose. It's going to take 5 days. Do I have enough time to get there, though? Do I have enough time to get down here? Maybe? Alright, so we are back here, and it looks as though it is actually going to work. Now, unfortunately, as you can see right here, things have gotten worse for the village since we last met, he says. So, I'm just going to say you can pay what you can afford. And there you go. We gain additional relation and everything, and now, yeah, I'm going to fail the other quest 100% because I only have 1 day to deliver those cows. So I suppose what I'll do is I will run over to Sonala as fast as I possibly can and try and sell the cows to the marketplace there. Oh, I know I said I was going to be quite honorable, but those villages really do need them. They need them quite badly, and so I was kind of like, well, there you go, let's do it. And let's just sell the cows there too. Alright, so now what actually happens to the Empire peasants? Can I get rid of them? Yes, indeed I can. Fantastic. Alright, so what's actually going to happen to the task now? Aha, there we go. It just timed out. Alright, so it just timed out. Oh yes, and we obviously lost a whole bunch of relation with that particular fellow, but personally, I don't really mind about that because I'm not really going to be using Empire units in this series. I think I will probably just end up using Azurai mostly. And then we'll see how we do with that. Maybe some of the other newer units, like the crazed men, are quite fun, and the sheriffs and all that sort of thing. So we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, that will be it for this episode. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like. It is greatly appreciated. And otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.